Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. How you doing, Ryan?
Doing well, doing well. Sorry for the delay, but we're here, and my pizza coma is about to set in. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. So last week on Dicing with Death, whenever we last played,
I,
Varissa got into a little bit of trouble again, as always.
hold on a sec. 3 minutes ago, you were asking me to tell you what happened last
Whoa,
week,
whoa,
and
whoa,
here
whoa,
you
whoa! That's not
are.
true. I knew exactly what happened. I didn't just know where we ended.
Okay.
So Varissa managed to get the hell out of town,
Mm-hmm. Help
and
of Pringle.
with the help of Pringle, and took to the lakeside to try and find the storage facility of the parties, of not of the parties, of the beleaguered men. And you made some friends with some of the local fishermen along Lake Lake Shimmerstone, and eventually found the beleaguered men's hideout. However, when you tried to go inside of it, a ghost pirate showed up and took you to his pirate lair. And when you tried to attack him, he disappeared.
Arr. He tried to attack me,
He
but
tried
yeah.
to attack. Well, I mean, there was the. I wouldn't call it aggravated assault, but I would call it assault after aggravation.
What? I was his prisoner and he stabbed me. No, he stabbed me because I tried to go for a. I think I tried to go to the pirate ship or something like. I don't know what I tried to do. Oh, I didn't step into the ghost pier or something like that.
There
I
was
was like,
something going on.
that's an imaginary pier. I'm not going to walk on it. And he was like, "Arr, you walked the plank." And he tried to shake me.
Yeah.
It disappeared.
Um. Let's just bring up the map for
I
everyone to
searched the
see.
pirate ship
Yes, you did. There you go.
and
That's
found evidence of something at the center of the lake. Or
something.
a map with something marked at the center of the lake.
Something. We're not sure what. And then you kind of just got the hell out of there. And as you
Well,
were leaving the
sorry.
next day, you ran into some friends of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what did you tell them about what happened to the cart?
Nothing. I told them I'd tell them later. And we got back to full stat, and I think the time of reckoning is now.
Yep. And so you head back to Falstadt, and
I think
you.
I started rambling about Pringle, yada yada, bewitching me, and they were like, "Who?" And I was like, "What? Wait, huh? Weren't you there?" Okay, never mind. We'll tell
Yeah.
full stat.
But you did take them down and show them the ghost ship, which looked old and rickety and abandoned at this
I
point.
did, and the fact that that room defies physics,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't exist or shouldn't exist or something.
Mm-hmm. It,
Illusions.
ooh, it has more thrust on one side than on the other. It doesn't make sense. Okay. So you head back with the rest of the beleaguered men, and you arrive eventually back at your little hideout thingamajobber.
Yes. So before you asked me if I had found out what happened there. What happened there? You proposed it in such an intriguing way. Like I'm arriving back to a.
Yes. So you arrive back at the beleaguered men's hideout. Is this music
Yeah,
kicking
I've
in?
got a little cave just south of Ritule,
Yes.
somewhere in the woods around there. I'm not entirely sure.
It's
I'm
south of Rutule, and
yeah,
a little bit north southeast, just a little southeast of Rutule.
yeah.
And you're now realizing that their hideout is actually like halfway between Rutule and Hamlet, and you're not too terribly surprised to have seen bodies hanging on the road from Hamlet to Threndal. Like
Hmm.
it's right within their territory.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking Goblin Cave music isn't playing. Come on, roll 20.
Oh, I'm not in roll 20.
Well, that's why you can't hear the music.
Well, I am. How could you know if I can't hear the music?
What are you talking? Okay, so I'm just trying to screw with you. You make it back to the Beleaguered Men cave. It's the three rooms as before. Let's just take a quick look at the mappy map. This is the layout of the cave. Here's the main chamber where everyone's hanging out. And you get down there, and a lot of people are just kind of plopped in the middle, looking grim at one another. You see Falstaff there with his arm still in a sling, and
Mhm.
he approaches you and the other men and goes, what are you doing back, and how did you come across Varissa? Where's the cart? Where's the other gear? And they kind of exchange looks and say, Varissa knows.
The the wizard came back for his cart.
The wizard.
Pringle, the old man you robbed it from,
The crazy old guy in blue and purple with the pointy hat?
and the magic cat.
A magical cat.
I shrug. Well, the cart's gone,
You didn't stop him?
and I was bewitched.
You were bewitched by an old man and a cat.
Mostly the cat.
You're not kidding about the magical cat. This isn't some joke.
No, I'm not. In his defense, he helped me escape from the city, and we made our way towards your headquarters, and that's where he put me to sleep.
Why did you make your way towards headquarters
Enough.
with him, with Pringle?
We thought to find you at the shed.
What did Pringle want with me at the shed?
Presumably to put me to sleep and take your cart.
And you just let him there?
Take his cart.
How did you even know where the shed was?
We wandered around the woods.
He looks at the other guys and crosses his arms and goes, so what you're telling me is that
Look,
you were rescued by someone we had mugged on the road, and then you led them back to where all of their stuff was, and you just gave it back to them.
I suppose more or less. I would have put up a fight, but as I said, I was bewitched. In his defense, he saved my life, got me out of the city. After I'm now a wanted man for what I've done for the beleaguered men.
Right.
I may have a consolation prize. I found a secret chamber hidden beneath your shed.
The other two guys nod emphatically. Tell him what was in the chamber. Tell him what was in the chamber.
It would seem that barn was not simply an abandoned barn. Do you know who it belonged to before you found it?
He shakes his head slowly.
Well, it was the secret hideout of Captain something or other of the Dragonfly.
Oh no, did we not write down his name?
No, I don't know. I didn't. I just happened to remember the Dragonfly. And beneath it is a trapdoor leading to a secret dock.
A trapdoor leading to a secret dock. The other guys nod emphatically to back your point up. And there's a silence. He says, "Well,
The decrepit remains of the Dragonfly are still there."
interesting, very interesting." In the meantime, we're running out of supplies, and we are being hunted down. We lost another few men while you were gone, and our numbers are, well, lower than I would like them to be. Do we have any ideas on how to, on what to do at this point? Because it looks like our cause is running out of steam.
Well, Pringle it looked like he only took what was his. Were there any other supplies there that you were sent to get? And I looked to the other men, or are we really running this thin?
we're really running this thin. We have food stuffs for a month or so, but beyond that, we don't have anything. Um, we've got some gold, but we don't have as much as we had wanted. After all, this entire thing was to take back what was rightfully ours, but never paid to us, and we have failed in accomplishing that end as well. He sits back on a little chair kind of built into the side of the wall and says, uh, now I believe as much as the next man that
Right.
we were owed something here, but I also don't really feel comfortable dying for it. I'd really rather us all live to see another day. So I'm thinking maybe it's time we call it quits.
Are you really willing to set aside what has been done by the guards in Duridan?
What the
Darden?
guards there do.
Did Brandon not report back?
A couple men were killed, hung, crucified.
And brutally tortured?
What is your plan then? What would you like us to do about it?
Will there be no justice for your fellow soldiers, the men that you've served with for decades?
He kind of snaps at this point and throws down whatever he was holding in his hand, which was an apple core, and says, "What the hell would you have me do about it, Varissa? Huh? I'm running out of men, running out of supplies, and our enemies are all around us. Men have been searching through the woods, looking for our hideout. We have one of them here with us."
Where is he from? Darden?
I didn't ask. I assume he's from one of these towns around here, but, he's just another implement of the law. If you got a plan, I'd love to hear it.
Are there not other men like you, veterans who were cast aside after the war?
There are. This is what we managed to gather together. Other people didn't necessarily want to join us. They didn't feel comfortable taking directly from the people.
What if we stop taking from the people? Get more strategic about this. Hit the powers that be, the corrupt powers, for instance, in Darden, that are actively torturing and crucifying your men.
Do you want us to just march into Darden, a half dozen of us that are here, and swords drawn, start running guards through? I mean,
I wish. We need more than a half dozen for that, I think.
exactly. What do you say?
I don't know. But I would like to go at that captain of the guard with my hammer instead of just my fists. Bastard wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, from what I hear, he didn't stand too much of a chance already. Brandon says that you had quite the toss out with him.
Had to infiltrate the jail somehow.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
let's think on it.
uh,
Um,
we still need to go get the rest of the supplies, he says, looking at the guys who came back with you, since no one else seemed to have gotten them. And if there's really a pirate ship where you say it is, then perhaps we should all take a group field trip to this pirate ship. He looks at one of the guys and says, "Roger, you should stay here. Make sure no one finds the place. Keep an eye out from one of the hidey holes." And everyone else packs up, except for Roger.
is my armor and stuff still there?
Still where? Oh, you left it here, right?
I was left
Yeah.
in the hideout when we went to.
It's still here.
Woo! Yeah.
You gather your stuff, and unless you have anything else you'd like to do,
They have a prisoner, don't they?
they do have a prisoner, yes.
Yeah. So do I see the prisoner somewhere?
You don't
Sitting
see
around
him
the
in
hideout?
this room,
Okay.
but you've been told he is here.
Mm-hmm. So I guess, well, I mean, do I not like? Where do I probably have to go to the back room to get my armor. I would guess my armor is in the
Yeah, the
back
prisoner
chamber.
is in the office room.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean you can run across him, no problem.
okay.
Um, so you
I think I wanted to ask Falstat, like, why haven't you figured out where that prisoner is from?
he
Why
was
he's here?
unconscious when we brought him in. He hasn't woken up yet.
Oh,
If you'd like to wake him
I
up
mean,
and chat with him, you can be my guest. But I was gonna let him stew for a couple of days.
maybe
Break him
I'll
down mentally, leave him in darkness for 3 days, 2 days. Come back, ask him questions
I'll
then.
I'll take a look at him, but I think you and your men are probably a priority. What happened to your arm?
Oh,
I step forward to inspect.
uh, it's just kind of like sitting in a sling with a bandage around. He goes, took an arrow to the arm. It's not a big deal.
Um, does he? And when I approach and take a look at it, does he pull back or
No, he lets you
inspect
examine
it?
it.
Can I apply my healing proficiency to it just to redress the wound and
Sure,
all
it
those
won't
things?
heal any
No,
HP,
yeah,
but you can redress it and,
yeah. So I'll go ahead and do
patch it
that.
up.
And in the meantime, I'll ask him if any of his others are wounded.
No, no one else in the group
I
is
don't know if I
wounded.
need to check who, but I fail if I do need to check. I don't think I do. So I'm okay, but hopefully this will increase his healing rate per day to whatever. I think I'm out of spells. I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know. I have spells written on my sheet, but I can't remember what I cast last session.
Well, I don't think you
I
had.
had a morning in the cave. I wouldn't have cast any, so I think I still have a
Yeah,
cure
I
light
think you're
wound.
at full spells except for what you just used here.
Well, I just leveled up at the end of last session, so I got a new spell slot.
Okay. Where the hell did I put my notes for this campaign?
All right. Does he have any other wounded?
No, no one else is wounded.
All right. Then I will inspect the prisoner.
Okay, you find the prisoner. He is conscious when you walk into the room and squints his eyes against the lamplight you bring in.
Who?
You see a couple of rats crawling over his body, and they scatter as the light comes and
I
disappear
will
into little
probably have
hidey
donned
holes.
my armor at this point
Hmm.
and reclaimed my warhammer.
You see that his hands are tied behind his back. His boots have been pulled off, so he's barefoot, and he scrambles to push himself into a corner as you approach. Behind you is Falstat.
Tiny earthen room. Is he up against like the north wall of the room, crouched between the desk and the wall, or?
Yeah, he's like right back here.
Okay. All right, so I'll approach and squat down and look him in the eyes.
He looks at you, doesn't say anything.
What are you doing in this hole?
These bandits took me captive. What are you doing here?
Bandits.
Brigands, bandits, cowards, knaves.
You're the one curled in a ball, rolling around in the dirt.
Like that's supposed to mean something to me?
Shrug. You know who these bandits are?
He nods. Beleaguered men. Men who got sick of the spoils of war and decided to take it out on the people instead.
How old does this guy look?
21 at the oldest. Possible. Like
So
somewhere
about
between
my age.
17 and 21. He's young. He's a kid.
Mhm.
That's right, chat. You're all children.
These men fought for our country when you and I were in our britches. And
And now they're fighting our country. They're bleeding the people dry, all for their own greed.
the nobles are bleeding the people dry. The beleaguered men are just struggling, like the rest of the common folk. Who are you? Who do you serve?
My name is Thomas Splitter. And I am from Ritule. I serve the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth is like this local kingdom.
Yeah, it's kind of just the local area. Yeah, I don't know why chat created that image.
Why, chat? Why?
I don't know. Might as well share it with the rest of you, though.
Not on stream, right?
Oh, no, it's shared on stream.
Why would you do? I don't understand. YouTube viewers won't either.
They won't either, but they should understand what the live stream is like and the things that chat makes that are completely ridiculous. But there
Okay,
you
what
go.
does the Commonwealth mean? Is this like this kingdom?
Yeah, it would be a catch-all for to serve the people, to serve the Commonwealth is. It's not really a well-defined area. It's like saying, I fight for the people.
Is there a king? Is there a king?
There is a
Darden
king. Yes, the king
Ansgar?
lives in Darden.
He does.
He does.
Oh,
I mean, it's
Okay.
a small kingdom, right? It's what, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 11 cities and hamlet.
yeah. I didn't realize Darden was the capital.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a pretty small area. I think in most areas this wouldn't even be a kingdom; it'd be like a county, but it's like an independent county that has proclaimed itself its own kingdom.
A Commonwealth. So, Thomas, you're a member of the town guard?
He nods.
Were you ordered here? Did the orders come from on high? Or is this
I was told
your own
to
foolhardy
find where
mission?
the beleaguered men live, where they keep their home, and I did.
Mission accomplished.
Unfortunately, I was attacked from behind by surprise by some cowardly men who beat me over the head until unconscious, and I woke up here in the darkness with rats. I hate rats. They drive me crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once. All right. I stand up and look back to Falstaff.
He
You're
shrugs.
right. He's not worth my breath. As we step down the hall away from him.
Hmm.
But at least we know the local town guards are after you. Us.
Us. Well,
Um,
let's get out of here. We'll leave this kid for the rats to eat.
he is just a kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand. And I think they can't have that many town guards.
No.
They'll eventually get fed up with this. Let's go for that field trip.
Okay. So you guys exit. And you gather up with the remainder of the beleaguered men. Ooh.
Marching in force.
So there is Brandon, Rich, Zed, Holden, Falstaff, and 4 others at this point. So that's 1, 2, 3,
Is
4,
one
5.
getting left behind?
5 and 4 is 9. One of them's being left behind. So there's 8 people plus you that are heading out towards this pirate ship area. And you leave the cave behind, and the sound of the squealing rats behind as well, and take off overland with oxen towards the hidden pirate ship. What time was it when you got to the cave? Do you remember?
I spent 2 days in the cave.
No. I mean, what time was it when you got back to the beleaguered men cave?
I have no idea. It's a couple of hours from the.
It's like a 6-hour walk.
I assume it was the middle of the day. I think it was morning. It must have been late morning when
when the guys showed up.
the guys showed up.
And then
They
it's
would
like
have had
a
to walk from headquarters.
it's like a half day between the two places, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it would be like mid-afternoon now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we taking off mid-afternoon?
Yeah. So you guys take off with the beleaguered men mid-afternoon, and let's
Was
see.
I able to get any food at the headquarters or?
Yeah.
or not?
They you managed to grab some stuff just on your way out, some like dried stuff to keep you going. And you guys head off towards the hidden supply shack. It is a pretty uneventful walk in terms of combat stuff. You chat with a couple of the other people there. It seems that um, Zed is actually not with you. Zed is off hanging out in. He's moved towns. He's no longer hanging out in Threndel. He's hanging out in Rotule.
Hmm.
Uh, they just don't have enough people to keep everyone like spies in every town. So Zed, their best spy, is hanging out in Rotule right now.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do, or are you just gonna just go?
I don't think so. No, just
Cool.
walk with the boys.
You guys show up late in the evening. The sun is already setting, or has already set behind some trees, and you guys are finding your way mostly by memory and by what little moonlight filters through the branches
There was a
above.
bit of a path, right?
It's yeah, but
Or was it
they
only
try
near
not to
the?
take the same path every time to
Okay,
keep from creating
so
anything.
only near the barn.
Near the
Okay.
barn, it's very obvious.
As we get close, I say, "Ooh, it's getting dark. We may get to see those ghosts."
hmm There's not a lot of agreement about that.
As
And
in, not a lot of enthusiasm, or as in they don't believe me.
it's more of the latter than the former.
All right.
But you guys eventually show up at the barn.
Mhm.
You walk on in, and it's just that big empty barn as it was before. But in the back, the hatch is still well, all the dirt has been pulled off of it, and it's still just sitting there.
Mhm. All right. I walk towards it.
You lead
Here this was the whole time, and I
the
sort of
party
squat
stands
down,
around it, kind of
grab a
kicking
hold
at
of the
it.
ring, and lift it open.
Okay. Looking down the staircase, and Falstaff looks at you and goes, "Well, ladies first," and
I
hands
shrug.
you a torch that he lights.
All right. Bearing the torch, and I walk down the staircase. There's no ghosts about.
No ghosts about.
Hmm.
You proceed down the staircase and out into the big open cave room. As you guys go down, there's a like kind of a gasp of breath from the other crew members as
Hmm.
they see this impossible place that it defies the laws of physics. It could not exist here. Um, it defies the laws of the universe. And there's a
Hmm.
lot of people looking around and muttering to themselves. And Falstaff eventually saying, "How come I've never seen this place before? I've been on the lake countless times."
I don't know. Perhaps it is covered by illusory magic. Perhaps a portal to another plane of existence.
Hmm. He looks about.
I may be able to divine some bits of wisdom about it, but
And you say that Pringle guy found this place?
no, no. I found this place after he knocked me out and took the cart, left me behind.
And he has a magical cat that puts you to sleep? That bewitched you?
Think what you want. Just watch out for that cat.
Well, I thought you were crazy before, but if this place does exist, maybe the cat can cast spells.
It was the cat that got me out of the city.
How did the cat get you out of the city?
When I was a wanted woman, the guards were out looking for my face. The cat turned me invisible. I walked right out.
The cat turned you invisible.
I
I'm
shrugged.
beginning to think maybe we should have that cat on our side instead of you.
Shouldn't have robbed him.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Hmm. Can you get up on the ship? He says, looking at it from below.
Yes, I have. It's you're gonna have to swim. The dock's a little rotted,
Hmm.
and I don't know that the ship is seaworthy. And again,
Still floating.
are there any oars sticking out of it?
No. But you did remember seeing a bunch inside when you were prowling about.
How big is the ship?
It's a decent sized ship. I want to say
How, can you give
like
me length
80 feet long.
and how many oars?
You could fit probably 20 on a side if you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? No. 10 on a side. You could probably fit like 15 on a side, I guess. Because if it's 80 feet long, that means there's only like 60 feet of ore room. And if each person takes up like 3 feet forward and back, you could fit 20 on a side. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know enough about ores to really make sense. I'm going to say 15. So you could fit 30 ore rowers on each side. Well, misclicks was... We used sails in impossible weather patterns that didn't make sense. You could just sail wherever you wanted, regardless of wind. Ships intimidate
sail
me.
almost any direction you want. Regardless of wind, right? Can you like tack? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, but you need like triangle sails for that, and that wasn't developed until like the 1600s. I don't know. Most ship power, historically speaking, has been done by men rowing. All the great ships were rowed around by men.
Yeah. So
everyone's looking about at this place, and Falstat says to you, perhaps I could get some fresh air with you, Vrissa.
Okay.
And heads out to the above ground area where the cart had been.
Mm-hmm.
And pulls you aside and goes, okay, this Pringle guy, I don't trust him. There seems to be more to him than meets the eye. Cat turns you invisible, rescues you from Rutule, takes you back here, steals our cart, and then you just happen to stumble across an underground ship.
I wasn't joking about the ghosts, I say.
And there were ghosts.
I think that the ghost of whatever Captain whatever Beard and his dragonfly are separate from Pringle, but I could be wrong there.
Well, can you find this Captain Dragonfly?
Again? I don't know. We had a bit of an altercation, and he disappeared. I don't know that I have any level 1 spells that can find... I can have invisibility to undead. But tracking undead, no, it's not going to happen.
There's a cry from down below, and you hear a bunch of voices talking very excitedly.
Maybe they found him.
The two of you head back down, and one of the men is running towards where you guys are, torch in hand, saying, "Captain, we found a hidden compartment on the ship."
They already made it to the ship?
Right. Well, because you guys had to walk back, and men just like jumped in and climbed up, and with 8 guys pouring over the ship, it's not too hard to find something. And you see a guy kind of like head poking out the back windows where there should be plate glass, waving at you and like kind of gesturing, "Come here, come here."
They got the back of the ship. The ship is... So he's like the far side of the ship.
No, the ship is pointed out the cave already, as if it had like somehow been backed into the cave or came in like.
So I was
around.
So I went in the aft castle. Or
You
whatever.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually in the room that you climbed into.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like waving towards the shore.
Mm-hmm.
I look to Falstat.
He shrugs and makes his way to the water, hops in, and starts swimming to the.
I start the slow process of removing my armor.
Okay.
I was so excited to be reunited with my protection, but damn swimming. So it probably takes me like 5 minutes to get it all off. So by the time I get swimming towards the ship and whatever, they'll have fully looted the secret compartment.
So it takes a few minutes for you to get all your gear off and show up there, but by the time you get there, everyone else is standing around.
Is the entire crew in the ship?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everyone is making their way onto the ship. You're the last one to get there. You pull yourself up into the aft castle, into what would be the captain's room, and you see a bunch of people standing around. You notice the captain's desk has been like shoved aside and
Mhm.
slightly knocked over, and there are some floorboards that have been pulled up underneath where the desk was.
Hmm.
And the whole gang is surrounding, like looking down at it. You look down in this little area, and there seems to be a like as if the floors are like about yay deep. You got the top floor, then you've got some beams that support things, and you'd have like the ceiling of the floor above, which doesn't seem to make too much sense. Like it makes more sense to have one. Why would you have two sets of wood? But this does leave a hidden compartment, and this hidden compartment is a small square stone plaque that has a pentagon carved out of the center of it, just like a like a shape. Um, the pentagon is maybe a centimeter deep, and it's just kind of like as if like a centimeter of wood in the shape of the pentagon, or a stone in the shape of the pentagon, has just been lifted out, as if something fits right in there, like a preschool class playing with shapes.
Yeah. Hmm. Perhaps the shimmering stone at the center of the lake. It's right there.
Falstaff looks at you and goes, "Oh, do you actually believe that Shimmerstone story?"
Pringle's certainly looking for it.
Crazy old man with an equally crazy cat.
I don't think he knows about this ship or the secret or this secret cave.
And
again,
ship and secret cave. If we could get this floating, this could be what turns the tide for us. Hidden cave, no one can find.
The thought
Ship
had crossed my mind.
On the lake. Like Shimmerstone doesn't. I mean, there's no navy here. I don't think I've ever seen a ship this size on the lake. We don't quite have enough men to crew it. And to be honest, I don't know the first thing about sailing, but it can't be that much harder than row the oars in the direction you want to go.
I was thinking along similar lines, but it sounded a little crazy in my head.
He looks around. Well, why don't you go after Pringle, find out what he knows about Lake Shimmerstone. If he's looking for the lake, or looking for whatever's at the center of the lake, he might know something about this, even if he doesn't know about the location of the ship. Then he looks over to Holden. No, looks at Holden, shakes his head, looks towards Rich, and says, "Rich, I need you to head to Darden. Find out everything you can about the dragonfly." He looks back to you for verification of the name.
I nod.
And the captain who was on it. Also see what literature you can pull up about the history of Shimmerstone Lake. And he looks back to Brandon and says, "Brandon, I'm going to need you to find some men that are willing to work for some coin without asking any questions. We need crewmen for this if we're going to get it going. And see if you can't find a shipwright or someone that knows something about ships. Meet us back at... How about I'll meet you in Hamlet in a day, in 5 days, with those men, and we'll see what happens then. And the rest of you guys, let's get back to the fort, see what's going on with that, and bring our supplies here. We'll abandon our previous base and make camp here in this cave."
Seems like a much better place for a secret hideout, albeit a little spooky.
Yes. All right, that's it. And he breaks with you guys. And I think we're also going to take our first break right here because this is a good breaking point, and someone's ringing my doorbell.
All right.
Cool.
Early break.
Early break. Well, we started 10 minutes early, so,
Did we?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, we started 50 minutes late. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
that's it for
our...
What, huh?
Go to your door.
Okay, see you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.
Ring.